your host, Beth Ann.
And I welcome you today to CSC Talk Radio. It is my honor, my privilege, and my pleasure to be here with you today, as well as my calling and my mission. I'm going to have to work those in, see how I can get that done. It's a special day, and I want to do a special show for you today. It's simply called America Remembered. But first, let's go to the Lord in prayer. For such a time as this, most holy God, creator of all life, thank you for your grace and your power, for your love and for your mercy. I ask you, O Father, to pour out your mercy on us today. May we in this nation be a people on our knees once again. Father in heaven, we the people in the land of the free and the home of the brave desperately need you. Oh, that we would leave our ways of seeking to be blessed and instead seek to bless others, to be those blessings. We beg for your guidance and your wisdom for our leaders and your protection, that you will protect us and our land. Protect us from our enemies, both within and without. And we praise you for the freedom that we have through the blood of your Son, Jesus Christ. May your plan always be the desire of our hearts and of this nation. For such a time as this, I pray. Amen. America Remembered. Like Norman Rockwell art, I see this nation in a simple, neighborly setting. A time of root beer barrel candy, white picket fences, families gathering, and imperfect people. In his art, we can see the imperfections of the people, yet we see the fullness of the heart of a particular moment captured in time on his canvas. We have land here in this nation from sea to shining sea, which encompasses coastal lands, mountain ranges, prairies, rolling hills, plains, deserts, and lush farmlands. America, unique and beautiful, rich with natural resources, with American exceptionalism and an awesome diversity. Like any nation, we've had our moments in time, which are not our proudest. But unlike other nations, Americans grow beyond those dark times, and they find that shining light leading us back home to liberty and the truth and equality. That's as a nation. Of course, we still have individuals who will never play nice. Diverse in people, talents, and skills. That's America, and I'm mighty proud of her. From time to time, I believe we should take a moment to give thanks for our nation, our very young nation, and remember from whence we came. We should take a look in history and be aware lest we fall into that same cycle that will surely bring us to the brink of collapse as it did others. The world looks to us as an example of freedom fighters. They see us as a stubborn and independent, but perhaps proud and arrogant people. But then again, they also see us as a very generous people. They look to us. The divisions we experience are because we've forgotten our rich heritage, the sacrifices and the gifts of freedom. Our founding fathers, our own fathers and mothers and grandmothers fought to be free. It wasn't passed along in the bloodline. We must pass it along in the minds and the hearts of our own children, always reminding them of our rich and unique history. Unlike Norman Rockwell art, sometimes our lives are a little bit more complicated, usually brought on by our own decisions, perhaps sometimes by tragedies that were not of our own making. There is a strength in the American spirit, however, that rises above and meets the challenges square on. Whether you live where the sidewalk ends, by a white picket fence, beside the sandy beach, in the thick of the Everglade, on a mountaintop, or in the concrete jungle, you live in America, and America is all of these things and more. Each should be held precious, and each should be protected. I have a reading here for you today. I think I shared it one other time. There's no doubt, though, that Paul Harvey would be labeled racist and bigoted hater in today's politically correct world. What I'm about to read to you is back from a day when we believed Republican and Democrat Party people had principles. The baby boomer generation from 1963 onwards rejected ethics, morality, and good values in large numbers. Everything was mine, and I no longer had to be responsible for my own behavior or my actions, believing nothing was bad. Your truth, my truth. I'm not sure if Generation Y or Z or the millennials will wake up in time or be woke in large numbers before it's too late. Therefore, it is up to us to educate and inform the masses. In just my brief life here, I have seen massive political and moral changes. Oh, not climate change, but the decline of mankind's values. In 2012, I watched the Democrat convention, and they booed God not once but twice. Today, we see the political leaders fighting like we've never seen before, not in my lifetime. I watched the civil rights movements and the violence in the streets, the looting, the burning, the riots, although not always handled well. On either side, it was with cause. The cause was equality for all. Today, what we see is rioting for no cause, and political pundits encouraging it. Antifa will attack just because. They don't like you there, wherever there might be. I don't want too much of Beth Ann in this. I want you to listen to this amazing speech by Paul Harvey, which I'm about to share with you. Again, it was written back in 1965, and I believe it is more than obvious his words are not just true, but unfortunately prophetic. In 1965, if you'll remember, Lyndon B. Johnson was president. It was at that time we began a war on poverty, which I believe we have lost. Lady Bird decided that junkyards were unsightly and should be fenced off from the highway's view. Since that time, we've had numerous presidents, Democrat and Republican. Congress has changed very little, but has grown very wealthy. In God We Trust is still on our currency, but it is not on our lips or in our hearts as a country. America remembered. Remember those Norman Rockwell pictures? You've seen them. One of them that I like to look at has a little girl on it, and her socks are all out of shape and falling down on her legs. The folded over Bobby socks like they used to wear. And I remember that I used to have socks like that. Of course, we had hand-me-downs. There's were 5 of us. I had one sister, and she was is 9 years older than I am. And those socks lacked elasticity. And Mom would give me a rubber band to hold my socks up. Otherwise, they'd slip down underneath in the shoe. And that was not pleasant. It was irritating, as a matter of fact. But the Norman Rockwell pictures, they show all these things. The real America. It's not the Hollywood glamour. That's not real America. We like to look at them. They're pretty. But that's not America. That's not the little old lady out in the garden, or not so old lady out in the garden wearing her apron and folding it up and carrying all the tomatoes or the green peppers or the corn or whatever in that she's going to fix for supper. That's America. America is maybe some of these in the city that are pounding the pavement, as they say. That's America. America is the working men and women. America remembers the past, our ancestors. Maybe you're a young person in America, or a young American here in this nation. We have a rich heritage, but we're a young nation. When we come back, we're going to read Freedom to Chains by Paul Harvey, and we will be right back.